Here we go again. We do a little bit of ice fishing. It has been a little bit warm for a couple of days and has deteriorated the ice just a little bit. So this is going to be a dock fishing excursion. We're down here at a local harbor, little marina down here, quite a few docks, and I think there's about 8 or 9 feet of water, so I think we're going to have plenty of water to work with off these docks. Multi-species bag here today, hopefully. We're going to search for white bass, which is probably a given. I want the crappie. Hopefully we can find the crappie, maybe some big bluegill, some perch. There's also, there's pike, there's walleye, there's catfish, there's bullheads, catfish as well, and then carp. I mean, who knows what we're going to catch in here. There's just a myriad of things in here. Largemouth bass. But we're going to give it a go. Going to see if we can catch a few fish here. We've only got about an hour or so to fish, so hopefully we get a little bit of film footage for you on camera. So stay tuned. Not even gonna need to wear the ice suit today. Okay, yeah, you can see we got a lot of people over there. So we're gonna try this little dock right here. See if it produces a couple of fish for us. Yeah, definitely been some people fishing off this dock. People throwing their trash. Hey, already kind of got a hole. Get out the old Vexler. 6.7 feet. That should be plenty. Okay, all right. So brought a few little spikes just to give it a shot here. I think we'll start with those. See if we get anything coming in. So let's do a couple of little spikes. See if we got any fish roaming around here. They very well might be a little shallower than this even too. This lake's kind of a funny lake when it comes to that. But we're going to try a little technique here real quick. A little rod that many of you may have never seen before. We have a little Swedish palm rod. So pretty cool little stick. These are often used in international competition. And yes, it's a little noisy. I know we got airplanes and stuff. But this is for the ultimate finesse. I mean, it's just a little tiny, kind of a palmable foam spool integrated right into the rod itself. And it has a little nylon spring bobber that allows us to balance the weight for strike detection. You can see how sensitive that is, and I can move the spring bobber back and forth on the rod to adjust the sensitivity, and we'll fish like a little 2mm tungsten like I've got right here. See if we can't pick a fish up. So with that, let's put our little spikes on and see if we can catch the fish. Like I said, we only got about an hour or so to try this out today, but we'll give it a shot. Let's see if it produces anything. There is somebody's fish they left over there. So we're pretty close to an airport, which is going to make things a little difficult here. Now, you don't really reel the fish in with a palm rod. It's more of a hand line technique. So depending on your depth that you're sitting at, there's different techniques of how to bring the fish in. In this case, kind of a hand over hand with the line. If it was deeper water, I may throw the rod out in front of me as I bring the fish up. That way I keep the same depth, the same line out, everything that I need to get back down to those fish quickly. And after I pull the fish out of the water, take the fish off, release them, or keep them, then I just pull the rod back to me as I feed the line back down the hole. Pretty neat little technique. You can see that spring bobber out there. Just super sensitive. And I'm staying up pretty high right now. I'm only about 3.5 feet down right now, because I wanted to see if I had anything suspended, anything rushing in. Sometimes they'll just kind of sit under these docks. Let's go down low. Down close to the bottom now. And I'm just using that spring bobber to control the cadence of my jig. Very sensitive. So, unfortunately, there will be lots of airplane noise on this video. If I could tell him to be quiet for a minute, I would, but I don't think that's an option. Here we go. Here we go. Here they are. Whole bunch of them. Whole bunch of them in there. Wow. Well, they didn't touch that at all. That's kind of crazy. Well, let's do it. Let's grab something a little bit bigger. Okay, so this is the new clam katana. I've got it paired with a again Spooler Elite reel. It's a 30-inch noodle katana, and we've got a little epoxy drop here. Jig. This is a little tungsten epoxy jig with a little red crystal on the front. I think this one is glow as well, so it may give us a little bit of an advantage as the sun goes down here. So let's see if we can get a couple of things on here for him. 3 on those. We might switch over and even try a plastic. Got some plastics that I poured the other day, injected, that are little mini crayfish. They might be what these fish are after. We'll see. Oop, did get hit. Oh, there he is. And it's a white bass. Look at that. Very tentative though. That was kind of crazy. Took us long enough to catch that fish, and just not very aggressive at all, but pretty little fish. All right, they're still down there. A little school kind of left. Come on. Got him. What are you? Are you a crappie? Yes. Look at that. We got our target species. Just watch this mark come in really high in the water column. Well, high, like 3.5 feet off the bottom. And it's a nice little crappie. So the crappie are starting to move in a little bit. Now this lake has black crappie only. In fact, there's only a couple of lakes in the entire state that even have white crappie. So nice little black crappie, and they do get much bigger in here than that. Well, let's see if we can catch a couple more. Second fish of the day. Awesome, awesome. Man, a little crappie. He seemed pretty intent on eating it too. I didn't really have to tease that one at all. So maybe things are going to change a little bit. Maybe we're going to get that bite going and put a few more fish topside here for you. Makes me want to kind of stay a little bit higher, seeing how that fish came in like that. I was fishing down almost right on the bottom. Just had some marks down there that kept coming up and kind of playing with me. I think there's another one starting down there. And then that one come in like way high. So I just brought it up to him, and he fired right up on it. No hesitation. He's coming up. Here he comes. Come on. Got him. There we go. Another crappie. I think the crappie are starting to move in a little bit. A little bit bigger than the last one. About, I don't know, 8.5, maybe 9-inch crappie. Awesome. Beautiful fish. And they have produced some crappie in that like 12.5 to 13-inch range in here. So it's not unheard of to catch those in this area. But it seems like as soon as I hook a fish, the school just disappears, just out of here. So that tells me they're a little skittish. They're really not comfortable being in here. Must be something around that's going to eat them. I mean, there's some big walleye in here, big pike in here too, big largemouth. I mean, big catfish. I mean, everything in here wants to eat those crappie. We're getting on the kind of the tail end side of maybe even having a shot at a perch. This perch really like the bright, sunny conditions. A lot of light coming through the ice, and we just don't have that. We got kind of an overcast sky. Has been pretty warm today, though. I mean, it got up to almost 45 degrees today. So I mean, you can see the ice here is really not good. I mean, it's all cloudy. A lot of sunspots. I mean, pretty easy to break through right here. So definitely not wanting to get out on the ice. This is the next best thing for a quick trip. Great little spot to bring the family. So if you're in the area, I mean, we're down here at Utah Lake State Park, and it's great. I mean, there's a lot of people out here having a great time. I mean, almost every dock except for this one was absolutely just packed with people. Everybody's kind of leaving now, but earlier in the day, and this is a weekday, I mean, there's quite a few people out here enjoying the time, enjoying ice fishing. Well, I'm thinking about trying one of my little plastics before we go. I'm going to try one of these little glow-in-the-dark crayfish. And we're going to try it without bait and see if it works. So, get my phone out here and charge it. That cell phone light to charge that up really good. Yeah, he's coming in to take a look at it. Just not convinced enough to eat it. But they have been very, very, very tentative today. Just not wanting to eat anything. Well, we might just switch up some bait, see if we can get one last fish here before we go. Let's see what happens. Here we go. Donk. Ooh, that was a good hit. Look at that. That is crazy. Sun's going down, and look at that. We caught our perch 2 feet under the ice. That thing was coming up. That was nuts. Fatty little perch. About 8.5, 9 inches maybe. Those perch do get much bigger in here. I've got to get one more fish now. After that one just dunked that. I mean, it would just thunk, and it was over. And he was high too. Craziness. I didn't think I'd catch a perch today. The sun going down like this. But that was like just as solid as could solid be. I mean, that was a pretty crazy strike. Just sank the tip of this noodle rod. There was no getting away from that. I mean, he just crushed it. Well, I think that's going to be it. getting a little too chilly for what I wore out here, so well, not too bad of a day. About an hour and a half or so out here. There you have it. A little chilly. We're going to call it 4 fish. A few other opportunities. I mean, fishing is a little tough. Got a little chilly in the end. Did not dress for it. Didn't bring any gloves or anything, so we're going to get out of here. We fished a little over an hour and a half or so, but we did manage a few fish. A couple of crappie. I got one perch really high in the water column, which is kind of strange to see a fish, you know, perch like 2 feet under the ice cap. But it is what it is. I mean, especially when the sun was going down. It's kind of crazy, but great fishery. I mean, I fished this all the way through March and April. I mean, even when the ice is off, it can be a great little way to shake out that fishing itch. Pretty close to my house, so I get out here quite a bit. But great spot to bring your friends, bring your family, bring your kids out here, enjoy the fishing. And hopefully we get some colder weather. I mean, I'd like to get out on the lake a little bit and maybe get a few fish actually while I'm on the ice, not just off the docks. But great time nonetheless, and we're going to call it. So stay tuned if you like our videos. We got more of these videos coming. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, like us on Instagram, and as always, tight lines.